This is my final video for the day, I promise. I've got 4 things for you this week to do, and I put a lot of it instead of on a document number, the last one, number 4, which is a review of resources, and it kind of goes on quite a ways, a couple of pages on your actual assignment page. And so I'll go into that in just a minute. I want to quickly talk about, number 1, I want you to look at the 3 videos I have, and you download that sheet. And when you bring it up, I have links to YouTube where you'll see my commentary about grammar translation, audiolingual, and the communicative approach. So I talk about those, and my purpose there is to get you kind of round you out, give you some basic information. I've talked about these before in 826, but I'm spending a little more time and do a video for each one. They're not very long. Okay, number 2, I want you to, which one was number 2? I think it's the one where I want you to do your, I want you to read chapters 3 and 4 in the textbook on what school administrators need to know. I'm going to be replying to your discussions this week individually, and then I'll probably do a video talking about them. So there are only 10 people in the class, so it shouldn't take me long. And I kind of want to tie it together with a video on top, so I'll probably put that out on Tuesday. You can just watch it. The 3rd one I have, and I've got to check something on here. I want to, the 3rd one's read the chapters. The 2nd one's do the discussion for next week. Okay, so you got the 3 videos, and then you've got the discussion for next week, and then you got chapter 3 and 4 in the textbook. And then the 4th one is that assignment that I gave at the beginning in the syllabus. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit right now, so we can look at that. What I want to do is I want you to do 10 items that are resources. When I say resources for you as a future ESL or a current ESL professional, is they can be websites of the State Department of Education. And within those websites, there are specific things. So don't just put the website of the Nebraska Department of Education or the Idaho Department of Education or the national, but actually pick out some things within it. So you can do the website, but then you can go and find another item in there that's particularly useful. So you can have a site within a site, and each one will count as 2 different ones, okay? So I put on here in the rubric, and I want to go over that with you for just a minute. The rubric is such that I'm having you make a list, and I want you to use the APA, which shouldn't be too complicated, but have a live link on there so I could click on it. And then the goal is I'm going to have you download this. I've got this down below to the assignment, not the assignment, but to the specific column in the grade column, or upload your 10 items, and you're going to have each of those with a annotated bib. Annotated bib, I've had people do it before, and you can see here I've put down, you have the website, and you have some information so it can be located. Then a 2-sentence summary of the main concepts presented in it. You get to select what these are. I'm not telling you there's a right and a wrong to each one. Just make sure you cover it and tell what's the purpose of it. And then 1 or 2 sentences explaining why the resource is valuable and who's it valuable to. Is it for administrators, parents? Is it for teachers? Is it for both? You know. So I want you to use your judgment on these resources. I'm asking you to explore the resources. Now, I've got a bunch of stuff below which you can use to help guide you if you're looking for resources. But you can actually Google stuff and find all kinds of interesting things. So I'll talk about that in just a minute. Finally, in 2 sentences, I want you to write what you've learned from this source. What good was it for you? So if you find something that's not very helpful, just skip it and go on the next one. I want you to locate 10 items that are good for you as an ESL professional. It can be for any audience. It might be for your principal. They might be for the parents. It might be a teaching approach. You can write down teaching approaches too. You can explore reading. I have just put down some things here. There are thousands of things you could put. I'm sure with the internet, a million things. And so let me just talk about these for a minute with you. And I wrote down there, as you prepare for this task, I'm doing this video right now that you'll be watching. And then I'm going to talk about some of these right now. I mentioned the ESU is very valuable. For those in Nebraska, you know what an ESU is. It is a support unit supplied by the state, and they're geographically located all the way through Nebraska, kind of more or less in population density affects the size of the ESU in terms of its geographic area. So out west, it covers several counties, whereas in Omaha, you may have 2 or 3 in one county. Okay, you already know what to look for and what to write about these, so I want you to explore. And these resources can be anything. They can be publishers. You're going to see federal sites. I put in Terry Schuster at the Nebraska Department of Education, and I put a screenshot in there. I've got her and then a screenshot, and then you can, and it talks about the Office of Civil Rights. It talks about Title III, Rule 15, English language data. If you want to look up information, where are the ELs in Nebraska? How do you identify an EL? It has the rules for doing this. Now, some of you are an ESL teacher, you know all this. But if you're a novice or you don't know, then you can look at this. Okay, and you're always free to email or call me. Now, if you call me, text me so I know you're not a robocall. So each of these actually is listed. You go on the screenshot, or maybe not screenshot, you go on the live NDE page and you click and you can see all of these. I didn't make these live links here, all these were bullets. Okay, I got the U.S. Department of Education Office for English Language Acquisition, OELA. Now, I don't put a lot of hope in it because there's been a tendency in certain administrations to not put very much stuff up there. So, you know, one group of people will pour money into education and come up with a lot of resources. And I remember several years ago, there was a change in administrations in Washington, and suddenly all the free stuff they'd mail to you, they only would send you one copy and you had to ask for it. And then you had to download and print it yourself. So they were trying to save money, and they put it on the schools to produce the material. Professional organizations, there are many of these, but I put up TESOL and mid-TESOL. And mid-TESOL is the one I belong to. It's the daughter organization or whatever of TESOL, which is Teachers of English Speakers of Other Languages, which is basically international. Mid-TESOL is Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, and Iowa. And they have a meeting in September. So if you're a member and you go to it in Omaha, you can find out all kinds of goodies. I'll be there. There are other professional organizations. I just put a couple up here. All right, what's another one? Local, state, and national organizations. I put down a little, and like this one, the Panhandle Partnership. Not much to it, but it's a group of people that help with immigrants. And a lot of times ESL and EL are also people with immigration issues. It may be DACA, there may be Dreamers. If you don't know what term is Dreamer, look it up, a DACA. Catholic Legal Immigration Network, the Nebraska Appleseed Project, the National Immigration Law Center. So I put that one, I actually directed you to the Dreamers, but all of these have many other places within them. You could do all 10 of your sites just on the immigration alone here. Cultural and diversity organizations, National Association for Multicultural, the NEA Teachers Organization for Multicultural Websites, the Hispanic Heritage Foundation, the Omaha Public Library has some really good resources. Color in Colorado is a great place. Colorado has funded a lot of money for ESL, diversity, etc. And all this stuff is a mixture. It all comes together. You don't say where one ends, another begins. Book publishers. I got Arte Publico, which is one. University of Houston has a lot of good books, mainly Hispanic and dual language. And then publishers of many multicultural books, you can click on that and it'll give you a list of websites. So getting materials and books is important. Multicultural games. Okay, I kind of stopped there. I put about 20 up here, or 15, and you can find more within them. And you can do Googling and get more of them. You can look up the Hmong, Hmong, or Laotian or Polynesian or Chinese websites to look up Chinese books or Chinese games or Chinese culture, whatever country you choose. You'll find that there are actual websites that provide information to people in the United States who are from many different countries. It'll tell the temperature, they can even click and listen to radio programs from their home country, because people get homesick and they want to know about their country. So those are interesting things. You can just, I don't think I have to tell you, you can Google and find about anything under this bright sky of Earth is available. I happen to like the organizations and the government websites, at least some of them. So you'll do 10 of those, and you'll write them up. So if you write 1 or 2 sentences on there, I'm not going to give you full credit, but I will probably make you do it over again. But the idea is I want you to use that proper format just so, and you can go to that OWL website, it's Purdue Education, and it'll tell you how to do footnotes and endnotes and bibliographies. And in our case, it'll just make it pretty simple for you. Once you do these and get these loaded, I'd like to, assuming all of them are in pretty decent shape, I want to load all these into a big document and share them. So that's it. I did a couple of screenshots here just so you could see, like, the university, you could see the Nebraska Department of Education website. You can see all the cool stuff they have there. So if you have any questions, now this is only a 4-week class. We're jamming a lot of stuff in here. You'll have a discussion next week, and you'll have this exercise. The rest of it's really reading. I'm not giving you exams. I don't give exams. But I'll expect you to, I'll put the discussion up either tomorrow or Tuesday. You're not going to be in a position to write the discussion tomorrow. So this is my last video, and it's kind of giving you an overview of the assignment for all 4 of these items, including that major assignment. And if you ever notice something missing or I got addle-headed and forgot, you can email me, okay? And then I'll be available to correct myself. So thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to get this thing expanded out so I can stop the recording. And I will be sending this to you momentarily. I will be replying to your, as I mentioned, to your discussion from this week, both individually, and I'll do a little video just hitting some high points.